Welcome to the Mindset, Magic, and Manifestation podcast hosted by me, Michaela J. Get ready to dive into an action-packed, bougie-based, and spiritually guided experience on all things manifesting your next level Lux life. Let's go. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to the Mindset, Magic, and Manifestation podcast with your girl. It is I, the Michaela J, here to teach you how to manifest your next level Lux life. Happy Wednesday, beautiful, relentless human you. How are you? How art thou? I know our podcast schedule has been a bit wonky lately, but I'm excited to be sitting down with you. I'm recording in the home office today. I've got a fresh coffee, little coffee ASMR for you, if you could hear that. And I am ready to deliver another great podcast episode for you. We are in a bit of a business manifesting series right now, which has been so fun to switch up and talk about. And on that same tune, I have something super exciting for you. I have a brand new free masterclass coming up next week. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday, on Monday, July 21st at 5 p.m. Central, we are doing a free masterclass called the Full Send Formula, okay? This is how high performers sell daily, build magnetic brands, and make effort levels of money, all right? So one, you're a high performer. You're probably already being consistent, but you need to start upping the ante a little bit and start selling daily and really pushing yourself and letting people know that you have things to offer, whether that's social media services, coaching, programs. You've got an Etsy store, selling every single day. High performers sell every day, but they also make sales every day. So we're going to talk about that in this free masterclass. We're going to talk about how to build a magnetic brand, because if you are selling every day, but not closing, not making these sales, the cash, you are not tapped into your full magnetism that you could be tapped into. That's what makes people click, stay, and want to be a part of your world long term. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about making effort levels of money. And this is something I've been thinking a lot about. Maybe we'll do a podcast episode on this. Is effort money is just screw it, let's do it. You see an ad on Instagram for that Carnival cruise and they're twerking and drinking champagne and you're like, F it, let's go. We are going to the Bahamas, right? Or you see a really good plane ticket to Paris and you're like, F it, let's go to Paris for the weekend. Or you go in to get an oil change on your car at the dealership and you see they have a new model and you're like, F it, let's just trade out the car today. Let's have freedom. Let's be fun. Let's be random. F it, let's do it. This is what high achievers have when they are tapped into the Full Send formula. So I'm going to be breaking that down for you for free on Monday, July 21st. There will be a replay, but come join us live. It's so much more fun that way. The link to sign up will be in the show notes, of course, or you can message me over on Instagram if you're having trouble accessing the link, because I want to make sure that you get in and get this Full Send formula. It's going to be so good. Okay. So today we are talking about the behind the scenes of a 15K cash week I had when my story views were actual shit, genuinely trash. So the first thing I want to say, we're going to talk about three pieces of this. We're going to talk about what I didn't do, what I did do, and some final thoughts and some things that you need to be thinking about when you are manifesting certain things in life, in your business, money-wise, et cetera, et cetera. But first and foremost, I want to set the scene that there are so many reasons why story views, Instagram views, TikTok views, Facebook, there's so many reasons why views, likes, engagement go up and down. A million reasons. It could be because of a holiday, right? Maybe on 4th of July, you saw less views because your audience is super family focused and people were spending time with their family. Maybe on 4th of July, your views skyrocketed because your audience is a lot of younger people, maybe living in a college town. Maybe they didn't go home, so they're just on social, scrolling TikTok, wishing they were back home with their family or something, right? There are so many reasons why. It could be a weekend where it's nice out all over the place and everybody's going boating and they're not on social media. It could be a weekend where a lot of your audience is doing a digital detox and everybody deleted the apps. It could be an algorithm change. There are genuinely so many different reasons and explanations we can come up for it, but there's no reason to even sit there and contemplate why it is the way that it is. Like, your content's not bad. It's not that people don't like you anymore. Like, don't get in your head about it, okay? Things are going to change, right? Even with email, okay? Let's say you have a certain open rate for the emails you send in your business. And 1 week, like, the open rate drops by half. Well, sometimes email processors, they reformulate their algorithm for what folder things are getting shared into. So maybe instead of going to the main folder, you're being shared to promotions, or maybe some of them are going to spam. Like, these are things that are outside of our control. And so there's no reason to get wrapped up in them. So I just want to give you the permission before we dive in to just release that. You don't need to think, why are they bad? Why are they down? What's going on? What's the algorithm change? Like, the moment you get wrapped up in that, you just start to dim your own magnetism because you're thinking through it too much. So I'm giving you permission to just not ask why, okay? And just keep going. Now, in behind the scenes of manifesting this 15K cash week, I want to walk you through what I didn't do and what I did do. So number one, what I did not do is I didn't stop selling, okay? The number one thing that I see with my business clients is when views are down, or they're not getting the engagement they thought, or they launch a masterclass, a free offer that's not getting the signups, is they just stop talking about it. It's like a post and ghost. And the thing is, if you want to have a sustainable long-term company where you are manifesting crazy results through your business all the time, you cannot let the numbers dictate your action steps. That is a surefire way to drop your sales, not manifest the money you want, and also lose the momentum. Because think about it, if you're selling and showing up week after week after week, and then you're like, oh, my views are down, you stop, you just drop the ball on all of that momentum that you created. So the number one thing I didn't do is I didn't stop selling. I just kept going. The second thing I did not do was a 24-hour story reset. Something people talk about a lot, especially with like technical Instagram strategies, like little quick fixes essentially, is they'll say, okay, wait for all of your stories to expire, wait a full 24 hours, and then post on your stories, and that will shoot you back up. And I have done this before lots of times, and it does shoot up your story. But I'm telling you, when I was manifesting this 15K cash week, I did not do that. I just kept going. Okay. And the times that I have taken this 24-hour reset, it's because I'm on a trip, or I'm taking the weekend off, or I'm taking time for myself. It's not, I'm selling and my views are bad and it's not selling, or I'm not getting the signups. So like, you know what? I'm just going to do this little reset. Like, I don't let the numbers have that external power over me. Something has power over you when you change your actions based on that. If you have a boyfriend, or like you've had, let's say a shitty ex-boyfriend, like you dated a loser and he was like, hey, I don't like that outfit, you should go change. And you go change. He now has power over you in what you wear. You see the numbers on your Instagram story and you go, okay, I'm going to do this story reset. I'm not going to post. That the numbers, Instagram, the algorithm now has power over you. That is something that I absolutely refuse to do. So I did not do some sort of technical algorithm reset. The third thing I did not do was get in my head and overthink, which we've already been diving into. You see the numbers and you make them mean something. You see the numbers and you overthink of like, well, was my content bad? People don't want to hear about it. No one's interested in my offer. It's not landing with my audience. Maybe I should stop selling. Maybe I'm selling too much. Like, we go through these thought spirals and we basically convince ourselves that we shouldn't be running a company. Like, what is going on there? Okay. Just because your story views are down, like, absolutely not. This is why you're probably not hitting the numbers that you want, is because you're getting in your head and you're overthinking every little bit rather than focusing on the momentum you're building, focusing on posting content that's magnetic, focusing on content that the right clients are going to be like, oh my God, this is me. I need this. This is exactly what I've been working towards. Like, yes, let's full send it. Like, you always have a choice. Here's a mindset thing. You always have a choice. You can take time and consider the doubts. You can take time and spiral and overthink. You can feed into your fears and your worries, and it's not going to sell out. No one's going to buy. People aren't signing up. My launch is going to flop. You have a choice to put your headspace there. But you also have the equal opportunity to say, fuck that. I am not going to think that way. That's not what I'm manifesting. So why would I put my energy over there? I'm going to believe in myself. Great. Normally my story views are 2,000 and today it's 1,000 or maybe it's 500. Well, I'm going to trust in those 500 people, they're seeing the exact thing they need to see today. I'm going to trust that maybe these 500 people weren't a part of the 2,000 last week. And so now they're seeing it for the very first time. Like high performers, high achievers, the most successful people you know, like we spend time curating our mindset to align with what we want. If I have a doubt, a worry, a fear come up, if I start to get in my head about something, I immediately pivot. The exact thing I think to myself. And I had a moment like this last week in another situation. But in that moment, I remember having like a doubt in my head. And I was like, okay, every second, every breath, while I am thinking this doubt is a breath, a second, a minute, a moment, a thought I could have been thinking in the direction of my desires. So why the fuck am I wasting my time, breath, energy, brain power thinking about something that I don't want to happen? So what I didn't do in this 15K cash week was overthink, was get in my head, was spiral. Anytime I thought something, like I noticed my views are bad, right? That's how I can tell you that. I was like, oh, my story views are way down, but I didn't make that mean anything, which is point number 4 here of what I did not do is I did not create stories. I didn't create stories that it wasn't going to work or that no one was going to buy because the views were down or that it was this and that means I can't have this. Like our brain loves a story. It loves a loop. It loves closure. So it always wants to take in information and predict the storyline. This is why we overthink and create stories. We take in an input and the brain is thinking, how can I sort this? What's this probably going to make me feel? Because your body wants to cushion the fall if it's disappointing. So your brain goes, oh, story views are bad. Okay, well then this probably isn't going to sell in the way we thought it was. And then we're going to be super disappointed or we're going to be anxious or we're going to be sad or we're going to feel like a failure. So like, let's just already set that standard in the body. That way we can cushion the fall. But then that's the exact thing you end up manifesting because that's where your mindset is, your energy, and your body is now on board with flopping. And what I did was not that. Instead of flopping, I was full sending of like, the story views are down. Great. I can go even more micro with the people that are watching. Great. Story views are down. Doesn't mean anything. I'm actually just going to keep going. Great. Story views are down. Okay. Well, I'm still going to show up as if they are quadruple what they are normally, right? Choose to be in your manifestation energy. Choose to align yourself with your desires. Not only the desire of this week, this month, whatever, but like your future. I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm going to talk to my stories in the same way I would if the views were normal. Like I'm not doing that. I'm actually going above and beyond that. I'm like, I'm going to talk to my phone, whether that's for reels or stories or podcasting, as if there's 1 million people that were going to watch this. But right now you're getting too wrapped up in stories about things that you don't want. And that's why you're not achieving results like this. Now, the 5th and final thing I want to mention here that I did not do to reach this 15K cash week was like posting funny or relatable or viral worthy for engagement. A lot of people will do that. Their stories are down. So then they're like, okay, I'm going to post something that could go viral and spike a lot of attention. So they do that. Or they say, okay, I'm going to post something more relatable so I can start to get responses. I can start conversations. People will start engaging with my stories. Then Instagram will put it out and they'll post like, where do you buy your favorite jeans if you have a small waist? Or like, oh my God, today I was squatting and I literally fell over. Like, have you ever had a moment like that happen in the gym? Like, what did you do? How do you recover? Do you laugh it off, cry, or leave? Like, they'll just like funny, relatable. I don't do that. Like I am not, that is the content creator thing. I am a business owner. Like, I am here to change your life. I am here to give you value. I'm here to activate you. I'm here to help you raise your standards. I'm here to show you that there is another way, an easier way, a better way without your excuses. Like, I'm not here to post something funny, relatable, like, let's talk about your favorite sunscreen just to get engagement. That doesn't always equal sales. Boosting engagement through a story reset or something viral or whatever, that does not equal sales. One time I went like mega viral on TikTok and I had gotten blown up with these discovery calls. Back in the day, I used to offer free calls and I wasn't even offering them at the time. People had just found the link on my website and I had like 25 free calls. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing these anymore, but since there's 25 of them, like, let me get on. And I'm not kidding. There's probably only 2 people that ended up actually getting on the call. And I can't remember if they made any sales or not. So it's like viral doesn't always equal sales. Okay. So I'm not using these like random Instagram hacks to boost anything. I'm focusing on what are the action steps I need to take? How do I show up in a next level way? Continuing to use my savage sales systems and showing up as a match for what I am manifesting. So let's recap what I did not do, and then we'll go into what I did do. Number 1, I didn't stop selling. I didn't do a 24-hour reset on stories. I didn't get in my head or overthink. I didn't create stories about what was going on. That didn't work out in my favor. And I didn't post something funny or relatable or viral worthy just to boost something. Okay. So let's talk about what I did do to manifest this amazing week in my company. The first thing I did is I still made my offers. Okay. Like I said, like I still showed up and I sold. And for my business, I know what I'm selling for the entire month in advance. Some people plan their whole year. Some people plan by quarter. I've done that before. Some people plan 6, 8 weeks. Some people just plan week by week. Like for me, once it hit, like it's July right now. Once it hits August, like before August 1st, I will already know all of the things that I'm selling and promoting inside of my company before August hits. So when store views are down, my execution is still up because I know what I'm selling that month. I know what I'm selling that week. I know what I'm posting. I know what I'm saying. I know what my people need to hear. I know the breakthroughs. Like so many of you have DM'd me over the years. I've been like, how do you post the exact thing I need to hear every fucking week? Like it's insane. I feel like you live in my house. I feel like you live in my brain. I feel like this was for me and it is for you. Like I know my people. I know what you need to hear. I know what you're working on. I know your goals. I know you're overthinking. So it's like, I have a duty, I feel like, in my company to show up and provide you that value, whether it's in my programs, in a challenge, in a masterclass, in a podcast, in an Instagram post. Like I know what needs to get done. So I continue to show up and I make my offers. Okay. So that was one thing I did do is I showed up and I still made my offers. The one thing that I always see in people, oh my gosh, is like, I'll see a TikTok video and it's like, I got a new planner, plan with me. And it'll be like this super cute aesthetic video of like a planner and a girl mapping everything out. And I always think to myself like, wow, you spent like 2 hours planning, but you didn't execute on anything. I have so many clients that spend time planning things. And I'm like, this is great. This is wonderful. Let's make an outline and go do stuff. Like you don't need all 12 steps mapped out perfectly. What you need is to know what you're doing and go do it. There are so many of us that are guilty to plan out something and literally never follow through. And for me, like I refuse to do that, which is why I can have success in my business that are like 15K weeks, 10K days, right? Like high cash months. Like it's because I show up, I make my offers and I stick to the fucking plan regardless of what's going on outside of me. Right? And remember, I didn't get in my head. I didn't create any stories. So all I do is just show up and keep making the offers. I say, oh, okay. I notice the views are down. Cool. Let me go post my content for the day. Like it's literally nothing else other than that. It's no other thought. The second thing that I did is I showed up knowing what I wanted. I showed up knowing what I was selling. I showed up knowing what do I want to manifest this week? What am I manifesting this month? Showed up knowing, who do I want to be online this week? How do I want to lead my people? How do I want to help them increase their standards? How do I want to show them that they can be savage, that they can be relentless, that they can be hyper-focused? Like, I showed up knowing what I wanted, who I wanted to be, and the example that I wanted to set. And so then I followed through and I did that. And when you set these types of high standards or large intention, not even large, but just like intentions for yourself, a lot of times the universe is going to challenge you. It's going to say, hey, are you really going to fully show up as that version of you and lead your people when your story views are down? Take that. And I'm like, yes, I will. Thank you for the test. I'm just going to walk on by it and keep doing what I'm doing, right? And you signal to the universe, hey, I am ready for these next level resorts. Am I thinking about travel right now? I'm just thinking about Europe. I'm like, oh, my Europe retreat's going to be so amazing. I think, hey, universe, okay, pass that test, no biggie, let's move on. And then it creates this signal that I am ready to receive that level. I am ready to receive the clients and sell out the programs and help more people in an even bigger way. So I show up knowing what I want, I act in alignment with that, and I always get what I want. The third thing that I did is I decided it would happen regardless. I see the story views are down. I go, oh, the story views are down. Okay, well, I'm still going to stick to the plan. Deciding it would happen anyways. Like, there was not 1 second in my brain that I was like, oh, views are down. Like, dang, it's not the reach I really wanted for this week. Like, literally not at all. So let this be an example for you that when you see something like that and you start to have that reaction, I want you to remind yourself like, oh, remember that episode Michaela posted and she doesn't even have those thoughts. Like, that gets to be a possibility for me. I get to reach a point in my mindset where literally nothing outside of me stops me, creates resistance. I don't even have to have a thought. Like, let this be an example for you. I decided it would happen regardless. This is a great manifestation principle to come back to. We oftentimes forget that we just have to decide something is going to happen and then show up for that decision. If I decide, hey, this is going to sell out, I show up for that. Story views are down, I'm still going to sell this out. I'm getting sick, I'm still going to sell this out, right? My open rates are low, still going to sell it out. Like, it literally doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. It's going to happen regardless. And you've got to be tapped into that level of precision in your mindset so you can achieve bigger manifestations. All right. Number 4 of what I did do is I posted my normal things. Like I've been repeating, I stuck to the plan, but I didn't post anything different or crazy or do anything to spice it up. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I created a 15K cash week without doing anything outside of the normal other than sticking to the plan and keeping my mindset laser focused. So it's not like I started a new series or I did a green screen video, which is something I basically never do. It's not like I was doing anything crazy or different. It's not like I was posting 1,000 trial reels or anything. I wasn't going live 3 times a week or, whatever. Wasn't sending triple email. Like, I wasn't doing anything outside of the normal because, again, I had made this decision. This is what I'm doing this month. This is what's happening this week. This is what I'm selling. And I've decided that that's what's going to happen. And this is who I'm going to be. And that's what I want. So that's what we're going to go get. I think a lot of times when we are wanting to manifest different and bigger wins for ourselves, we start to think like, oh, I need to come up with this complicated, out of the box plan. When in reality, it's like, no, I can do the things that work inside of my company and I can believe bigger and show up bigger and have a better standard and have higher energy, be more magnetic, and it gets to work. It's not that you need to do a 3-day free masterclass followed by a full 90-minute masterclass followed by 3 bonus Instagram lives just to hit your numbers, where it's so out of the normal and it takes so much more like lifting up than you usually do. Because a lot of times when you do a launch like that, you're not even happy with the results. You might hit the goal, but you're exhausted. You're like, holy shit, like I just did so much for this. Rather than trusting, like, I get to make this happen in a way that feels good for me. I get to manifest this result in a way that is fun, in a way that I would buy. So I know my people are going to buy. I know that my people are going to be excited. I'm tapping into the energy. I'm connected to this. Like, let's go. Like, you want it to feel like you want 15K cash weeks and big months to feel like this is just a normal week. This is a normal month. There are a lot of people online that will do these like 6-figure $1 million launches, but they just did like ads and 7 master classes and multiple rotating webinars and they had 1 million affiliates that they also did live master classes with. Like, I remember a long time ago, at the very beginning of my business, I had joined this like social media membership where like every month you would plan your social media content together. And I found it because somebody I followed was doing like a joint webinar and it was like an affiliate situation. And I remember joining the program after watching that. It converted me, it worked, slay. And following the girl on Instagram who had the membership. But she was doing like, she was manifesting a ton of money through her company, but she was on these master classes with people like every fucking day. So it's a great launch, but if you want these results to be sustainable and to be able to create 15K cash weeks all of the time, you've got to do your normal shit. Like when you're doing this, like jumping through the hoops, running a full circus show for 30 days straight and you're exhausted, and then you go into the next month being like, oh my God, how am I going to do that again? That was insane. It took so much planning and so much time. Like, it's not going to be the same. So for me, I decided like, I know what I'm selling. I know what I want. I'm going to show up as this person. I'm deciding it's happening regardless of anything. It doesn't matter if it meets my expectations or not. Like, I decided that this is going to sell out. This is going to happen. This is going to blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to post my regular things and show up powerfully. And this is what's going to happen. And that's what happened. And the last thing that I did do is I continued to work my Savage sales system. So this is something that I'll be talking about inside of the Full Send Formula Masterclass, but also what I teach inside of my business program, Conscious Creator. I have a full, what I call Savage sales system to sell every single day in a way that converts and makes sales. It's totally based off of your preferences, what feels natural to you, because again, I don't want you going through these big launch pushes, absolutely exhausted afterwards with no way to sustain that, where your energetic capacity is like completely maxed out, going so above and beyond to a point of almost burnout, which is a word I don't like to use. But we have a Savage sales system that works for you in a way that is adaptable to what you like to do and what you like to post. That's going to work 10x on repeat. And I'm not talking like funnels, ads, like this is a true customized sales system to your business that you put together. So I have my own Savage sales system, and I have a whole training on this inside of Conscious Creator of exactly how to put together your daily Savage sales system. But I continued to work it. Again, this is me not getting in my head. It's not saying, oh, I'm working my Savage sales system and the views are down. People don't want to see me sell. But like, I didn't do any of that. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew exactly how to work my system, and I continued to do that. And even if there was a day that I didn't make if you were to like calculate like 15K divided by 7 days, whatever. And if it was like, I don't know, what would the average of that be? Let's calculate super quick. 15,000 divided by 7. Okay. It's like almost 2,200, like $2,143. So we'll say 2,200. Like even if there was a day that I only made 1,000, I still stuck to my Savage sales system and was like, okay, well, just because I made 1,000 that day doesn't mean I'm not hitting this 15K cash week. Like I'm going to keep working my Savage sales system because I know that it works, because it's something that I love in the ways that I love to show up and to sell to the people that I love. Like this is going to work. So I keep working it and I don't get in my head about it. All right. So what I want to say here is that you cannot let external reality dictate your results. You can't let reality, numbers, people, experiences, a hate comment, like dictate your results and dictate how you're showing up. If you do a live and you're selling something and nobody reaches out and then you never sell that again, like that is you letting the external dictate what you're willing to receive in your business. The people that show up and go all in and commit, again, deciding that this is happening regardless, that work their Savage sales systems every single day, they dictate their results. I was just having a conversation with a client this morning, one-on-one client, and she was like, I feel so in control. in control of my life, in control of my day, in control of my results, in control of my action steps. And I'm like, that's because you are. You don't let the external dictate that anymore. You've taken the power back into your hands. And with that, you get to mold anything out of that Play-Doh. Okay? Some of my biggest cash weeks, like this one, like one day I had a 10K cash day when I didn't even post. Like sometimes these days and weeks come when my views are low, when podcast downloads for the month are slower, or when a masterclass didn't get as many signups as I expected, or maybe I'm doing a fast action bonus on a masterclass and nobody buys on the call and they don't get the bonuses. Like even if it doesn't reach the expectation that I thought, I still decide and I still work the system. It's you getting in your head and then that impacting your actions and impacting your energy that flops the launches, the sales, and your goals. None of that matters. Views, engagement, downloads, who's there live. I used to do lives at the beginning of my business and there would be 0 people there. And I would still do the live, post the replay, and people would watch the replay and then they would buy. Or I would have one person on live and it would be my mom, and I would still deliver an amazing training with the intention of people are going to watch this replay, they're going to buy, this is going to be so valuable. And it was. And it was. Because none of that matters. Your certainty is what matters. If you are certain you're going to manifest a 30K cash month, you are certain you're going to manifest a 10K day, a 10K week, and you show up fully committed, fully deciding, fully working your savage sales system, like you are going to get that, because certainty is what moves mountains, not the Instagram algorithm. Okay. So I want this episode to give you permission to throw those numbers out the window. Become more certain. Know what you're here to do. Stick to that decision. Every moment that you want to entertain a doubt, a fear, it's going to flop, you get in your head, I want you to remind yourself of what I tell myself. Every minute, every breath, every thought, every moment that I think about a fear, I could have been thinking in favor of what I actually want. I could have been spending that time stepping into the identity, the version of myself I need to be to make that happen. Why am I wasting my time thinking about things I don't want to happen when I could be spending my time creating the results, the version of me, the work, the content that would produce the things that I'm manifesting? The numbers don't matter. Your certainty does. Your consistency, your willingness to stick to the plan, stick to the fucking list, we like to say in our house, and continuing to show up in a way that you want to, that's going to be sustainable for you as well. Okay. So with all of that being said, I hope to see you inside of the Full Send Formula, my free masterclass on July 21st. We're going to be going in depth about some of these things that we were talking about today, how to become more magnetic in your brand, how to make sales every day, how to start manifesting that effort levels of money in your business, really reaching your what I call fuck yes clients, not running into that issue of like, well, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to post. Like we've got some really juicy stuff in this masterclass and I cannot wait to welcome you in, okay? If you loved this episode, you got value out of this, you feel fired up, please take a screenshot and share it over on your Instagram story and tag me. I love to see that you guys are tuning in, what you're doing while you're listening, whether you're on your hot girl walk, cleaning the house, or you're at the gym. I love to see it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to leave a 5-star rate and review. I love hearing your takeaways and wins from the podcast in the review section, so don't forget. Love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.